Warning, warning! As a medical doctor, I must inform you that there are side effects to this coaching session. Beware. It may enhance your self-esteem, cause you to experience vibrant health, encounter long-term weight loss, heal damaged relationships. Warning, there are side effects to this coaching session. It may increase your enthusiasm for life and bring about hope. It may cause you to have productive and optimistic thinking. It could even help you not allow messed up people to ruin the rest of your life and help you realize the masterpiece that you are and empower you to be the boss of your brain. Warning, these side effects may be long-term. This is Dr. Isabel from Doctoronamission.com.
Hello everyone, Chef Michael here with this episode of the Doctor on a Mission vlog, the video blog. Of course it's video because you're looking at me, you can see me. Hey guys, I am thrilled today to be bringing this one to you. Oh, because so many times, you know, we're gluten-free and dairy-free here at Doctor on a Mission. You might be thinking, yeah, but there's no, you know, gluten-free, dairy-free is so tasteless and there's so many beautiful things in the world I'd love to have, but it's not gluten-free. But today we're going to be talking about Cantucci, the Italian almond biscottis. Yes! If you love those like I do, today I'm going to show you how to do them gluten-free. And you are going to love this one. Now, here's a disclaimer though, because I do hear this from time to time when we talk about being gluten-free, and that doesn't necessarily mean we're eating healthy. Now what it does mean, it's healthier than having the gluten, but this is a treat. These biscottis are a treat. It's not something we're going to eat every day. I do have people that will say to me, well, Chef Michael, I'm gluten-free. I had a gluten-free muffin for breakfast. I had my sandwich at lunch was on gluten-free bread, and my pasta at dinner was gluten-free. No, that doesn't mean you had a healthy eating day. I didn't hear any kind of live food going on in there. So just understand, now don't frown at me, and because I'm not trying to take the fun out of this, but just a little disclaimer there. Now, back to the fun part. Gluten-free biscottis. Now, no, traditionally, this is not a traditional one. I'm putting my twist on it because traditionally, the almond biscotti, the Cantucci, is a twice baked, and that's what the biscotti stands for. It's a twice baked. I do mine baked one time, and the reason why I do that is well, they come out really good doing that. So, hey, why not? So if you're a traditionalist, please don't comment and say, that's not the traditional way. You're right, it's not, but I put my twist on it. I've added some flavors to it, and of course with gluten-free, we're doing some different things, okay? So having said that, let's get into it. So the first thing I always do is with the nuts, what I like to do is just lightly saute them, lightly toast them. What I'll do is in a pan, I'll just probably about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil under a very low heat. I'll put the nuts in use. Now for this recipe, and again, you can see the full recipe here in the vlog, it's all there, but you're gonna use 210 grams of nuts. Today what I've done was I've done almonds, but I also like a little bit of mix. I mean, it could be just straight almonds, but I've done almonds, walnuts, and some macadamia, just a little bit of macadamia nuts. You know what else I think would be fantastic is pistachios, hazelnuts. Oh, so if you can get those, but 210 grams of nuts. Now I just lightly toast them in the saute pan a little bit for maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Just gives them that little toasty flavor. And then also what I do in the pan, I give them a pinch of nutmeg and a pinch of cinnamon. If you're not a nutmeg and cinnamon fan, that's okay. I like nutmeg and cinnamon because just that little pinch in there, working with the oil, working with the nuts gives it that flavor, and it's going to incorporate into the biscottis. Personally, I think it gives them a lovely touch. Now, when I'm done with that, I'll set it aside, and when they cool, I will roughly chop them up. I like them just kind of roughly chopped after they've been toasted, okay? So that's a little different spin than I do. Now what I've also got is 425 grams of gluten-free flours. I do a mix. Sorghum would be fantastic. If you don't have sorghum, you can use oat flour. Today I couldn't find any sorghum, just seems to be right now. I mean, I couldn't get any sorghum, but I got oat flour. Oat flour is fantastic. So I did a mix of oat flour, rice flour, and coconut flour. But sorghum, rice, and oat are fantastic for baking if you get a nice mix of those, okay? So I've already got those in the bowl here. And then what you want to do, also what I've added to the bowl is I've got 25 grams of arrowroot starch. Because again, because we don't have the gluten in the flour, we need to add some little bit of binder. So 25 grams of arrowroot starch. What I've also got is hemp hearts. I like using hemp hearts, and I grind them up in like a little coffee grinder, ground hemp hearts, 25 grams of ground hemp hearts. They add some nice protein to it, some iron. It's got some really great properties in hemp hearts. Again, you can look that all up. So 25 grams of hemp hearts, and I've got 25 grams of ground almonds in. I like just adding to get that little extra almond taste, ground almonds. Got those all in here, plus 1 teaspoon, let me just double check, I want to get this right, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So that's all in here ready to go. Now in a separate bowl, I've got 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks, okay? So I'm 2 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks, okay? 2 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks in the pan ready to go. But what I'm gonna do is for the sugar, now traditionally there's a little more sugar than I like. I like a touch of sweetness. Again, you can adjust this. I'm going with 150 grams of coconut sugar. I like coconut sugar. It's just got kind of a lower GI point, and we don't really like to use the white granulated. But so I'm going 150 grams of coconut sugar because we like it just a touch of sweetness, but not like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet, it's overwhelming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the coconut sugar in there with the 2 egg yolks and 2 whole eggs with just a tablespoon of vanilla. Mix that in there with a tablespoon of vanilla. And let's whip that up. I mean, again, if you've got a blender, you could use a blender and you could blend that all up with a machine and mixer and do it all up. But hey, let's just do it by hand. We'll get that all mixed up. All right. Just take a moment or so to get that going. And then in our bowl with all our dry, one of the other things I'm going to put in is a little pinch of salt. It's always nice just to have that little pinch of coarse salt in there, ground coarse salt. So you make a well in the middle. You know how you make just that little hole in the middle in there? And we're going to put the wet inside that middle portion. All right, so we've got the wet inside the middle. And then we're just going to start working it all together, all right? With one more thing, the nuts. So we'll put the nuts in there. And let's just start mixing it all together. You can use a spatula or you can use your hands, however you want, but you're going to make a nice, beautiful dough mixture. So I'm going to make this mixture, and then I'll come back in just a couple moments when all the dough is ready to go. I'm just going to work it for a moment or so, and then I'll show you what we do to make these once-baked biscottis. Come on back. It's going to be good. Hi, so welcome back. Okay, so I worked the dough. Now here's what we end up with. That's half of it, because you're going to get 2 beautiful pieces. So you can cut this recipe in half. It works fantastic, or you can double if you want. But that's the dough you're coming up with. Now one of the things I did not mention, and I want to mention, I had forgotten, is you will need 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Now what I do, when I had mixed that all together, I add 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. The traditional recipe calls for butter. I like to keep this gluten-free, dairy-free. So I'm using extra virgin olive oil, and I find that extra virgin olive oil is, it's an almond biscotti. It just gives it a beautiful flavor. So I added 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil to the dough, and then what you do is, so this is half of it, and you just work it with your hands and the warmth of your hands and whatever surface you've got. I'm fortunate here to have a beautiful stainless. I put a little extra virgin olive oil on the table because it keeps it from sticking to my hands. And then you just lightly with your fingers, just roll it out. If you've ever seen any bakers do it, anybody can do it. The thing you don't want to do is just push down real hard because then it'll break apart. And just slowly work it. You want to get it to it's about 12 inches or a foot or so. And centimeters, I think that's about 30 centimeters. But just work it till it gets about this distance. And again, you can make them as thick, you can make them thicker if you want. You can make them thinner. But you're just lightly working it out. And if it that's kind of slightly coming apart a little bit in the middle, well then you just kind of stop, work it a little bit, start again, and just lightly use your fingers just to work it like that. When you've got it like that, now's the time to cut the biscotti. Now normally in the traditional way, you bake it now. And you bake it for about 20 minutes. You pull it out, you cut it, and you do it again. I like to just do it one time, one way, and I found this works really, really well. So you're just going to make that nice little angle cut like that. Look at that beautiful biscotti look. I'm going to put that on there on a cooking bake sheet with some baking paper on there. I'm going to cut another one. Look at that, look at that. Can you imagine when those are done and you're going to have that with a, well, we'll keep it G-rated. You're going to have it with a coffee or a tea or water or some kind of warm drink, whatever you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start cutting, laying them out here. Look at those beautiful things. You might need to just wipe your knife down at your cutting. Make sure you got a nice sharp knife. And you just keep doing that, laying them out like that. Oh my gosh, how beautiful does that look? Wow. Another one. See, since I toasted the nuts, it just cuts through, and remember we chopped them up coarsely at the beginning. They come out so beautifully. Look at those. Can you see those? How's that cameraman doing? Can you see those? How beautiful those are. So I'm just going to get this batch going. You might even hear in the background, we got the oven going at 180 degrees Celsius. I think that's about, what is that? Maybe around 350, 360 Fahrenheit, but 180 degrees Celsius. Oh my. Look at that. Are those looking incredible or what? And there's our last one there. Now, I've left just one of the egg yolks, which I'm going to lightly brush, because what that'll do is that'll just get a nice little browning effect. Little crispness on the outside. You could brush it with olive oil if you wanted to. You could brush it with a little extra virgin olive oil. That would work too. Well, I'm just giving them a little brush with some egg yolk. And then we're going to pop them in the oven. And these are going to take, I would say, depending on your oven, because everybody's oven seems to cook a little different, and what part of the world you're in, these will take 15 minutes at most. They'll take somewhere between 12 to 15 minutes to bake at 180 degrees Celsius. I'm going to pop them in the oven. When they come out, we are going to get to taste these beautiful gluten-free, yes, almond biscottis. See you soon. Hey, welcome back. So guess what? 15 minutes later, there's your once baked, I know you traditionalists, it's the once baked Cantucci, Italian almond biscottis. What do you, do those look beautiful or what? Now, you might be looking on here going, what's that? Well, just a little other twist I put on it from time to time is this is some melted 90% dark chocolate. So what I like to do with some of them is I'll just make a little mix of a little bit of chocolate, like a half and half type thing on some of them. You know, because we're entertaining, having a dinner party, or even for ourselves. Some people like a little bit of chocolate with their treat for dessert. So I'll just spread a little of that 90% dark chocolate on there just to give that little chocolate flavor. All right. So not that you have to, but if you like, then you can get your chocolate fix. Now, you know, I'm going to have a little taste of one of these. So I'm going to take one of the end pieces here. I haven't tasted them yet. I have tasted them before, but I just want to make sure it came out the way I was looking forward to. No. Oh, sorry. I forgot about you guys. I got lost in my Cantucci. Gluten-free Cantucci, Italian Almond Biscottis, Chef Michael twist. Give them a go. If you want a special treat, yes, you can have a gluten-free, dairy-free Cantucci. Enjoy. Great being with you.